Okay, recording. Welcome to another episode of Tell Me About It. I'm here with my friend Kris. Kris and I went to high school together, and today Kris is going to talk to us about beard grooming. So, welcome, Kris.
Thanks, Brooker.
So,
Yeah,
tell us about growing a good beard. I mean, I feel like I have a lot to learn from you today.
well, you've got a great beard, man. I mean, I've always liked your beard, and it's getting some nice gray patches in and out. It's getting
Yeah,
that kind of like
I
wise man
wasn't
look. I love it.
I wasn't crazy about that at first, but like I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to like having the gray.
So tell me, actually, before we get into it, like, there's I think a lot of places you can go with beards and like where you start with beards and that. But I'm curious about what you're doing right now to maintain your beard. When we were talking, you were saying that you are getting into like sculpting your beard, and so tell me about where you're at.
Yeah, so I mean, I've had a beard for many years, but I really haven't gotten that into sculpting until recently, and I still feel like I'm very new with it. I mean, I used to just like, take my trimmer and like put it on one setting and just do the whole thing at one length. And it looked
Yeah,
okay, but it wasn't like groomed.
yeah.
And so now I've been I looked online and watched a couple of videos and I saw there was something called like a Garibaldi beard, which is where like it hangs down a little lower here, but it's still like short here. So what
Yeah,
I've kind of tried to do that and then I sort of messed it up and then I cut it short and I was like, okay, I need to sort of start over. But I've basically just been like trimming it going down on a low setting just like in the front, and I haven't been doing anything here. I'm trying to like let this get a little longer, and that's kind of
that's a
about
good
it.
look.
What's that?
That's a good look, and I actually think with your facial structure, it'd probably be a good look for you too.
Yeah, I do a
Um,
little trim in there, and I usually keep the mustache. I think like a longer mustache looks good, but like sometimes it's a little uncomfortable. So I usually kind of
it's a
keep.
pain in the ass.
I know, so I usually kind of keep my mustache pretty short.
Yeah. I've had beards um, that have been down to my collarbone, and I've had beards that are like super short, and I've had the Amish beard with no mustache. You know, I've had the jawline beard where it like just follows my jawline and then comes straight up like this. So I've been messing with my beard for years, since college. So probably, I don't know, at this point, 18 years or so. I
Yeah,
had various versions of beards, and this one's actually pretty short right now because I've
yeah, it's a
been.
little shorter than you usually have. It looks nice though. Looks very groomed.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I work, as a CNA right now, and I'm in nursing school and things. So in nursing school, they need us to shave clean. So this growth is about 3 weeks old. So my beard grows pretty quickly. It's pretty short right now. But there are a lot of different styles that you can go with a beard, and I think one of the great things about having a beard is that it's hair and it grows back, and you can try different things. You can. I had a mustache for most of winter quarter, to my wife's chagrin. Did not like it too much, and
Just the
uh,
mustache.
yeah, yeah, just a mustache. And to be honest with you, at the end of the quarter, I got a picture. It was probably a bad day, and I saw myself at a funny angle, and I was like, yeah, that mustache is now working for me. So the mustache went away and went back to a beard.
The lone mustache is just so out of style, or like it seems like it has been for a while. Like that didn't used to be like a weird thing to just have a mustache, but right now, like, seems like kind of a low point in like just having a mustache. Like everyone's like, "Ooh, okay, you're doing
I
that,
took
huh?"
my I took my mask off one time. I was having a meeting with my clinical instructor, and I took my my mask off. She hadn't seen, you have a mask on all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I just shaved the side of my face and gone with the mustache. She literally was like, "Oh, sorry, didn't expect that mustache." So
It's like, well, I
yeah,
didn't
I
know you were
appreciate
hiding a mustace under that mask.
it. Yeah, he was probably figuring, you've been on Zoom for a while. It's probably a low point for you too, kid. It's like one of these things,
Yeah,
not for Zoom classes, not for you being on Zoom.
I
Um,
am.
but yeah, so So there's a lot of different ways that you can go with a beard. And I think the first thing to consider when you are growing a beard is really, you know, thinking about allowing it to grow. Don't mess with it too much. But hair is protein, right? And in order for us to have healthy hair, and especially facial hair, as healthy as our genetics are going to allow, is to eat healthy, exercise. And when you're doing your exercise, I hate to make it sound like be a man, but resistance exercises actually stimulate protein synthesis, and they will stimulate protein synthesis in your muscles. But um, that goes for the rest of your body as well. So your hair will grow faster. And I don't have a lot of evidence on this, but I'm assuming, one goes with the other. So if you see things in like the summer, hair grows faster than the summer. So if you want to get into a beard, it may be the time you want to shave your beard off because it's hot, but letting it go at that time and really getting a nice start with your beard so that you can sculpt it and you can maintain it and get into it. Exercising, eating healthy, and letting it go in the summer are good ways to get started.
And so you're saying that the way to get started is to just kind of let it go, don't touch it for a while, and then you've got kind of like a blank canvas to
Exactly.
start working with. And how
Yeah.
long would you say is the appropriate amount of time? Like all summer, like maybe 3 months or something?
No, 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 no. Like maybe a month, maybe 2 months, to get it going. And that all that being said, like if you see my beard, my beard hair grows down here,
Yeah. So
and
does mine.
it drives me nuts. So I shave it here. What I'm talking about letting go is the area that you
Okay.
want to grow.
So you can still do
So
your neck and stuff during that time.
oh, for sure, yeah.
Oh,
But letting like the bulk of your beard grow. I One way that I like to sculpt my beard, and this is going to go for differently for different people because everybody has a different facial structure, right? But I follow my cheekbone here like this, and then they say you're not supposed to do this, but I do it anyway. I kind of go like this, and I just kind of shave a straight line, and in doing that, um, it kind of creates this nice soft curve. So that's like how I sculpt my beard, right? So I know that I'm going to start with that. Anything growing from that is fine with me. I just know that I like following my facial structure. Now you've got a bit of a rounder face, and you're going for that kind of square, like longer look,
yeah.
and that's this. You can do the same thing like up here, just kind of like follow this down, and then like you kind of do almost like kind of soft curves here into your mustache, and then basically from here down is longer, here up is kind of shorter. So there's, you can do the bushy thing too and just let it all grow out and comb it out.
And
That's up to
when
you.
you're growing it out, you can still kind of keep the cheeks trimmed as well.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I do.
you're just letting this go, but you can still do your neck and your lines here.
Yeah, the areas, because up here it gets a little scraggly. So I like to go down like above this line for me is scraggly. So I like to come down nice clean crop where it's going to be a nice straight line. That's for me. Some guys like to do the whole like, hair up here thing and come down. That's fine.
I kind of
Um,
try to make the line where like it would like occur naturally as much as possible. But then I
yeah.
find as I shave, like every time I do it, like it kind of works its way down a little further.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen. And that takes practice. And now we can talk about different I brought some products that I like to use and how I like to use these products. And getting a nice growth of hair that looks nice and is well taken care of so the hair is really healthy is really, really important, right? So it's not just about like, you go exercise, you eat good, and then go do manly grunts and stuff and protein synthesis and your hair comes out and it's all like nice. You
Yeah.
have to take care of the hair that's coming out, just like
Right.
you do with the hair on your head. And you have two different kinds of hair. You have, in skin really. So the shampoos and things that you use on your hair, don't use those on your beard.
Oh, okay. I've
Um,
already been breaking that rule.
Yeah, a lot of guys do, and that's where I started too. Was it's just like a little up here, and fuck it, I don't even like wash my face, and that's kind of how it was for a long time. I just let it go, and because I didn't want to put any shampoo into it, it was like, well, I'll rinse it out or whatever, and that'll just end up dry. Like it doesn't end up a nice, soft, silky, well-oiled, healthy hair. And you do need oils in your hair for it to be healthy. But starting with shampoo or conditioner that you put on your head, putting that in your beard, is not the way to go. There's actually beard shampoos and beard conditioners that you can get specifically pH balanced for your skin on your face. And since your hair is coming out of your skin, you got to take care of your skin here too. So putting on vitamin E like this, after you take a shower, put a little vitamin E on your face. And then, in the shower, you've been washing with this. I like Crema. You can buy it at like Fred Meyer's if you're in the Northwest. Pretty much any retail, like grocery store, you're going to be able to find something like Crema. This is a beard and soft, it's basically a conditioner. So it's a beard and scruff softener. And you put that in like a dime size, wash your beard, and then you let it sit for 30 seconds, and then you wash it out. And you want to make sure that you scrub in here and get it all out and let it soften up. And
Yeah.
then when you get out of the shower, you don't do anything else for your beard. Guys, beard oil, y'all. Beard oil.
Yeah.
Beard oil. It's got too much damn glare on it.
Also
Beard
Cremo.
oil. Beard oil. Beard oil. Beard oil. Beard oil is the
I
stuff.
have beard oil, but I don't always use it because I thought that it would kind of help me sculpt it, and that's not really what it's for.
No.
Or I thought that it would help me kind of like a gel or something, help me to keep the scraggly hairs down, and that's not really what beard oil is for.
No. That's what scissors are for, in my opinion, and brushes. To be honest with you. So beard oil, all that's going to do is keep your beard hair healthy. Beard hair healthy. It puts in good oils into your beard that just keep it glistening. You can definitely put in too much and like shine from a distance. But just like a couple of drops in your hands, rub it together, put it in, and get it in down to your skin, because it'll then, once it's down at your skin, down at the roots, it can wick down through your hair, but it doesn't necessarily wick up to your skin. So I like to put it in, rub it in there, and then when I'm done with my beard oil, to help it move through, I've got a little brush. Some guys like combs, and then I comb it down. And one of the nice things about doing this when you get out of the shower is that those scraggly hairs and things, like some hairs, my beard moves kind of in this direction naturally, right? So it moves back towards my face. Some guys will have hair moves in different directions. When it gets down right about here, for me, it bubbles out. So, brush this down. And it helps kind of just get the hair moving in the right direction. I'm not going to say that, if you got wackadoodle hair, it's not going to like necessarily fix it.
Yeah.
But if you want to sculpt your hair and your beard hair, that's when you get into things like beard butter and beard jellies that will condition your beard. They'll also help you sculpt it a little bit. And if you want to get into like handlebar mustaches, that's wax.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So those aren't meant for getting the scraggly hairs to lay down. That's all just keeping it trimmed.
Yeah. So the trimming thing, when I get mine going, and I usually, we can talk about how I have a very particular way of how I shave my beard or sculpt my beard, right? So I just got a haircut the other day, and he used it tight right here, like a number 2, and that then comes down to my beard, and I've let my beard go, and probably about a month from now, I'll start using clippers on it. I also like to, which I haven't right now, I can't tell if I can't quite see this, but right here, see how this little wing right here?
Backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, some guys like to style that. That's a little bit, I can't tell if it's a shadow or if it's a little bit long. But for me, I like to kind of keep it a little bit with my jawline, right? Or like my jawbone, excuse me. So kind of like that. But you can get wings going way back anyway, right about this much of my beard usually is like at a 2, right? To about here and about that much. And what
And
I'll
then
do is I'll
two
take,
going up, because I know a two
yeah,
going up and a two going down are very different.
totally different things. Yeah. Even it out. Go up, maybe and go sideways. And we can talk about actually shaving in a little bit. There's some important things with shaving your beard so you or down to your skin so you don't mess up your skin. But when you or when I'm shaving my beard, I usually go up with if I'm going up with a 2 like this, I go up with the 2 and that comes to about here. And I'll go sideways with it, I'll go down with it, but I'll even it out, right? As much as I can, I'm going to even out those scraggly hairs. And then later on, when I'm done, I'll go by with some scissors. From here to here, I'll go with like a 4. But what I do is like, I'll take the clippers and I go out like this, right? And what that does is it leaves the front long, but it kind of gives a tapered fade on the side. If that makes sense. And then my beard will come down to like the way I wore it for about 3 years was like just kind of sculpted like this and just kind of came down. So it was all it grew to, or it was like sculpted to like a longer kind of otter, front. I like to call it like an otter front, like bigger bushy mustache, bigger chin, but the side was tight, right? And that then faded into my fade that I have as a haircut. So
Yeah,
that,
I like to keep the sides pretty tight as well.
yeah, yeah, and I can see that working like the way that your face is it's a little bit more rounded, right? So if you take your rounded face and you want to square it off, you keep it tight to probably about here, and where it starts to round to the place that you don't want it to round in, that's when you start drawing it down, and everything up from that point is tight. It'll give it a nice square look, and it's great. Yeah, that'd be
So
a great
maybe
look.
like tight here, but like not as tight as I get further down.
Right, exactly, exactly. I wish I could point to your face right now and be like, "See right there." but but yeah, I mean, if you, so looking straight on, um, it's coming straight down like this from your basically from your jawbone, right? So you don't bring it in at all. I would bring mine in a little bit because I have a bit of a like a more tapered look that I'm going for. But if you want to come straight down and bulky, I mean boxy, like that's that's how you would do it. You would just go like just follow that line straight down.
So maybe just
Um,
doing one length and coming down on the whole thing is maybe not the way to go.
exactly. So you come down, but you would just follow gravity basically. Just go well. So you're following this line here, and right about here, it's really growing straight down on its own. And then you can use a brush, you can use beard oil, you can use beard butter. Um, Beard butter is great for like overnight, right? You use beard butter overnight, put it in, let it grow, let it kind of set in, and then that'll help draw things down. Um, Other things that you don't want to do if you're looking for nice beard hair that is longer, is you don't want to sit on it like this a lot, right? Because then you'll end up with like I've done that before, where this side of my beard is short and it kind of like comes off to the side here,
Mhm.
right? It kind of like has this angle to it. So to keep it even, don't touch your face a lot. Don't lean on it. Don't like, fuck with it and whatever like people will do. And one way to do that and not have itchy skin, because that's one of the ways to, you mess with your beard, is to put in beard oil. Guys, I don't know if you mentioned, if you saw this before. Beard oil, beard oil, beard oil. Use it. Beard that keeps the itch down, and so does washing it regularly with beard wash and beard conditioner.
Nice.
Yeah. Um, there are different ways to like shave too, and I actually brought. Um, I do like my beard paraphernalia. So again, Cremo is one of my favorite. For I'm not sponsored by Cremo, but
Just sending you some money for this one.
I know can monetize this. So I am using this sage and citrus right now. It smells really good. It's the nice thing about um, Cremo for shaving is that you want to have a nice lather. And when you have a nice lather, that's not too runny, it's not got the like Barbasol kind of like synthetic shit on your face, on your neck. It doesn't dry out your skin. It actually contributes to the moisturizing of your skin and keeps your skin healthy.
Hmm.
Um, and it kind of bubbles up. And when it bubbles up, if you're not into this yet, Brooker, I would, um, here's my endorsement for boar hair brushes, for lathering your shampoo, or your, excuse me, not your shampoo, your, your shaving cream.
Hmm.
So you take this in a little dish like this and you move it around, right? And it gets to this nice consistency. You don't want it running down your neck, and you don't want it just kind of like this sticky glop on your neck either. There's somewhere in between. It's nice, moist, and dry. And the boar hair brushes get into your pores and into your skin, and you actually start pulling any hairs that might be going ingrown kind of out. So you pull your hairs kind of move out, right? When you do that, the biggest mistake that I made for a long time, and I know a lot of guys just starting on off with shaving make, and I'm not just saying like 20-year-old guys, but like 40-year-old men like myself, they think they're going to get a cleaner shave if they go against the grain. You can, but not the first swipe. And that's one of the things that's nice about these boar hair brushes and using shaving cream like Premo, where you can lather things up, is that the first time you go in, you get it all in there, go with the grain, right?
So
Go
that
with the
means
grain of the
like
hair.
up.
Well, for me, it's up. And I know for like right here to right about here, it's up, right? And then from about here to here, just right about where my jawline is, it actually goes down. It goes in the opposite direction. So the grains of my hair go like this, right? They meet in the middle, going in different directions. So you have to know the direction of your hair, and the way that you can feel that is if your hair has grown out a little bit. If you push up against it, it's going to be smooth, and if you come down against it, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, see, my neck hairs, they all grow downward, and I just thought everybody was that way.
No, everybody's hair is going to move in different directions.
So like, if I shave down, I'll get like an okay shave, but if I go up, I get a closer shave, but I can definitely feel that I'm like going against the grain.
And you're burning, right? It's like it's more of a burn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what you want to do. You got 3 swipes. The first swipe, go in, go up, up, down, down. For you, it's going to be down, 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 right? Go with the grain. Next swipe, cross the grain, or with the grain but at a diagonal, right? Then across the grain. And if your skin can tolerate it and you've got a nice razor, each time you do this, put a little beard oil or skin oil, like vitamin E, on your skin, and then put the lather on. That's really important, because what that's going to do is it gives a nice slick and lubricated surface for the razor to go over, pulls the hairs out that are going to be trimmed, and lubricates your skin with the soap or with the lather, the shaving cream. Go with the grain, go at a diagonal, go sideways, and if you can handle it from that point, then you can go against the grain.
And so you're putting beard oil on between swipes?
Yeah, and or skin oil, right? Like I use beard oil will work on my skin because it's for facial skin, for pH facial skin.
Yeah.
And it helps when you're putting in your beard oil. You're really taking care of the skin under your beard. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's not just for the hair, but it's for the skin under the beard. So putting it on as a lubricant, like a pre-shaved oil, it works just fine for that. But yeah, you want to lubricate your skin, because the reason you get the razor burn, the reason that you get the irritation, is because it's either you got a dry soap on there, you haven't put oil on it, or you're going against the grain, or your razor's too sharp. So Do you use the safety razor or do you use like a three blade razor
Like
or
a three blade razor.
cartridge razor? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, about 10 years ago, I went to these safety razors. One of the reasons that I went to this because I'm cheap. And these are really cheap. You can get 100 blades for like $10. Of I use Astra blades and they're gold, man. Like I could probably shave myself dry with this because it's just so gentle.
So you just change out the blade, but you still have the stick or whatever.
Yeah. Oops. Never done from this angle before. Take that out. Turn this around. Right.
No.
Yeah. So that was pretty gnarly. I actually just shaved before I came down here. Apparently did not wash that out. So that's gonna get washed out and get up there. But the thing that you want to do with these is change them out probably for me because I'm only shaving here. And like here, I can get away with changing these out once every couple of weeks. They're fine. Um, I like them because they are sharper. They're cleaner for me. They're a cleaner cut. The three cartridge ones are nice, but they're really expensive. And I'm a cheap guy. I don't know. And there's a certain ritual with a safety razor that I like.
So for me, it would be down, sideways, and then up.
Yeah, yeah. And if you want to throw in a diagonal in there, that's kind of optional. But definitely before you go against the grain, at least cross grain. Like go perpendicular to the grain.
And that way you'll be less likely to irritate your skin.
Correct. That's exactly it. Yep. So what happens when you go against the grain? Imagine your hair is growing up this way. Kind of pull it up like this, and then when the razor goes past it, it sinks back down, and it can sink below. It kind of pulls the skin up too, right? And that's where you can get those razor burns. You pull the skin up. If you're going this direction, it kind of lays down with it, and you kind of
Yeah.
cut it, but it's not pulling the hair up. This way, it's pulling it up and out, and that's where you get those cuts. And then you can also end up getting more like ingrown hairs and things because the hair will actually slip. The follicle of the hair will actually slip back down into the skin under the skin, and when it grows out, it'll catch the skin and start growing down and in rather than coming out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you have any pointers for like where the line should be? I mean, I know you kind of said that you follow maybe like just below your jawline. Is there anything else that needs to be said about that, or
That's more. That's a question for you and your significant other. whatever they think looks sexy on you, and I promise you guys, I don't care how many old Supreme Court justices from the like old conservative South did this. Don't wear a fucking neck beard. Like, please God, like, don't shave your face and have a fucking neck beard. Don't do it. Like, it's ugly as fuck. Don't. All right.
True.
It's a little triggered. The only faux pas in beard world is having a fucking neck beard.
Yeah.
This is meant to be shaved, and if you're comfortable with it and you like it, there's guys that have really big beautiful beards that come out, and they don't shave their neck. Hey man, all power to you. But if you're gonna do that, at least have some on your face too.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, one of the reasons that I've had a beard for as long as I have is that my wife likes beards. And so I was like,
Mine too.
okay, so like I don't have to completely shave every day and my wife likes it better. Well, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, my wife was just stoked that I was growing my beard back out for this quarter. Um, yeah, beards are it, man. And I think I think they were gone for a while. They weren't so popular,
They
and I think
were like, I can remember like, because I could, as you know, like I could grow a beard, like a full-on beard, like in high
in
school.
high school. Yeah,
I had, but I didn't always grow it out though. I'd had goatees and I tried different things. But like in college, when I started college, I had a full beard, and that was kind of not in style at the time. I don't know if it was because of the age that we were, or if it was just the time period. But like, I don't know, in the 90s, like having a beard did not seem all that cool. And now it's like it's kind of seems like it's a little more back now.
I think now, I think the thing that I'm noticing now is that guys are taking better care of their beards in a way that it's not just about growing a beard. Because I think prior to the, in the 80s and early 90s, the guys who had beards were hippies. Like that was, you had a beard, you were a hippie, and you let it grow as long. And that's where I started. I was a total hippie, dude. I wanted to grow that thing as far as I could, and my hair was going the same direction. Um, and I think the thing now is that it's not just about how much hair you can grow in your face. It's about, are you taking care of that hair? And it's another sign of self-care, right? And the way that I look at my beard and my skincare and the way that I perceive my body is really about honoring my this is like, oh, woo spiritual shit, but I like to honor my physical presence in this world, right? And it's less about like vanity as much as more it's about taking care of this shell of a meat suit that I'm in, and so that it can last, right? This is my chassis. This is the only chassis I've got. And I've got an engine I got to take care of too. And in doing those things, taking care of the chassis, taking care of the engine, takes care of my mind. And if I feel presentable, if I take care of myself and I love my body in that way and honor it in that way, I actually feel better about myself, during the day. And that then gets projected to other people, right? So when it comes down to like why beards are like in fashion now, I think it's because guys are taking care of their beards in that way, right? It's a projection of who they are. Um it's a icon of their personality.
Yeah, that's like the spiritual side of beards.
It is, man. Seriously. There's this Sikh guy that walks down our main avenue that we live on. And he runs a Sikh temple down the street, and the Sikh grow beards. Like they don't cut their beard, and so his beard is like it's way down here, and he's got his hair wrapped up in a turban, or I don't know if it's turban, but he's got his hair wrapped up. I don't know if they would call it a turban, but anyway, he's got his hair wrapped up in his beard out, and that guy, for just letting the beard grow, which I don't know many guys these days that don't trim their beard or do something with the beard, but just for letting the beard grow, that guy has the most beautiful beard. Like I want to stop and talk to him all the time. They're like, dude, what do you do with your beard? It's beautiful. Sure, it'd probably freak him out, especially right now, because it wouldn't be like a 6 foot distance. But
You think he's doing stuff, or does he just have like a
I
natural?
don't know. I don't know. I want to find out. I'm like, dude, do you use beard oil? Do you comb it? Like, what's
Do some
the
beard
deal?
talk with this Sikh guy.
Yeah. Here's another thing to consider, and especially when you get into a longer beard, because I've had beard down to my collarbone. Um, when you sleep, um, you want to be kind of careful being, if you're a side sleeper, being balanced on either side, because for the same reasons, it's thinking about your hair kind of like like your beard hair, kind of like your head hair. You've got to take care of it in the morning, or you're gonna look like shit. Like especially if you've got a longer beard, you got to comb it, man. I used to have like a little mustache comb and stuff like that I kept in my pocket to keep my mustache straight. Um, but yeah, it's real similar to your head hair. You got to keep it looking good and keep it healthy.
And so, what do you do? I mean, I find something that I struggle with my beard is when I comb it, I still get a lot of little stragglers poking out and just making it not look very neat.
Yeah,
Um,
you
uh,
don't need to take clippers to that every time. What I would suggest is getting either some, you can get beard scissors that are really really tiny and really sharp, and just what I used to do when my beard was down here, I would get ones that would kind of just, they're genetic, makeup, whatever, was like going out this direction, right? And I wanted to go this. No matter how much beard oil I put in it, if I buttered it up, didn't matter. If combed it down, didn't matter. It was like, wing. You just take your to keep it nice and kind of tight and just like one unit, just trim it up, kind of like a hedge. Just
And
get those little sheets that go out too far.
do you brush it or comb it down first, or do you comb it up,
Yeah,
or?
yeah, yeah. So you take your brush it down with the direction that you want it to grow or the way that it's going, on its own. If you can go with the direction and the grain of your hair naturally without having to alter it. Like if your beard hair wants to go straight out of your face, and you may want to, like, just for social niceties, brush it back, right? So you're not freaking people out. But if at that point, once you've done that, then trim anything that's off, and then maybe if you've got some time, do it again and trim anything that's off. And after you do that, like if you do that a couple times a week, yeah, your beard's gonna look tight.
So, I mean, pretty much all I want is just kind of like, fairly short in front. I want it to hang down a little bit. I don't know. Do you have any specific pointers of things that I should be like, if you were my barber and I
Mhm.
came in and I was like, where do I start? I mean, you've already given a lot of tips, but is there anything
Yeah.
else that you think I should be doing, or different shapes I should try?
I think you're going. What did you call the beard style that you wanted to go with?
Garibaldi.
Garibaldi. Okay.
And that one's
I
not
think that
square. It is a little more rounded, the
a little
Garibaldi.
more rounded.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you could go for. I think it would look good. So what I would say is, with the way that your face is and it's a bit rounded out, to draw. So what I was looking at with my beard is I wanted to draw my chin down. Um, right. I wanted to have a little bit of longer face here, tapered down, so it
Yeah.
looked like my chin was stronger. And the way that your head and your face is, I would draw it down this way without tapering it, let it go, either square it off or round it off.
How do
But
you do that? That's just how do you
trimming,
just kind of like, you can kind of trim it to be square, or just trim it to
trim it
curve
to
it
be
out?
round, trim it to be square. Yeah.
I saw this
Um,
video where this guy was doing he'd set like the electric trimmer. Do you use that pretty much at all? Or is it
electric trimmer,
yeah.
like for down here
I mean
or along my face or what?
are you mostly doing scissors, or
So up here, I use clippers, and then when it gets down into here, um, I I hesitate to say this is advanced because I don't know, but it gets to a point where I don't want to use a guard on the front part of my face because I don't want it to be even. Very gingerly, and very very delicately, I go through and just kind of race the edge of my beard and kind of trim it like a hedge, right?
without a guard?
Without a guard.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
dangerous.
dangerous. And there have been times where I've been like, Mia,
Yeah, I've done
and
that.
you just start over, right? Like, good thing about hair, it grows
You're like,
back.
well, I'm gonna have to wait a couple of weeks to grow that back.
Yeah, yeah, totally. COVID's been good for that.
Yeah.
Just put a mask on.
There's a
Good.
lot of time to fix your mistakes. This is a good time to learn how to groom your beard.
Perfect time to learn how to groom
Yeah.
your beard.
So then when this is all over, you'll have a nice beard that's all ready to go.
Exactly. Exactly. So what I would do with your beard, number one thing don't do is trim it. Just let it grow. Just let it grow. Trim maybe the sides if you want to keep some of those stragglers going. But if you're trying to trim these down here, you're basically just going to keep your beard maintained at a certain level. Your beard hair doesn't grow that quickly. So put beard oil in it. You can pick up beard oil for like $7. It's not very expensive. You can definitely go on and find hipster beard oil for like $40. You do you, man. But
Not necessary.
it's not necessary at all. Just get a nice beard oil and oil that's meant for beards. put it in, comb it out, and comb your beard hair. One of the things with the beard oil and the brush is it just keeps it nice. Like it keeps it nice, you know, and it keeps it straight. It keeps things from getting too frayed at the end, and that will limit the amount of frayed ends and split ends that you're going to have in your beard that you're going to want to trim and maintain, and then you end up not even be able to grow your beard. So stop trimming your beard, let it grow out. If up here is you're going to keep short anyway, trim away, right? But wherever you want it to grow, don't trim that. I know it sounds basic and it sounds like common sense, but it's really tempting to trim it when you're like, oh, I want to start playing with it, I want to start sculpting it. So yeah, just let it go for a while. I mean, I could see you taking your beard down to about your Adam's apple and it looking, polished, and you've got, again, like you've got that nice gray in there, and there's like the speckled, like, dark streaks and stuff, and allowing that to grow out, man, you're gonna have like this like really cool like black down the middle, and then you're gonna have your white, and then you're gonna have your black stripes. You're just gonna look sick.
I'll be like a zebra.
Like that?
I'll be like a zebra.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
So I saw this video where a guy, he had the guard on, and he had it on like a number 7, which is pretty long, and he actually like went in here with the 7, and then he'd do like a 6 here just to get like a uniform length, but a little longer here to give it kind of more of that point. Do you think that's an acceptable strategy? But
Sure.
Maybe once it gets a little longer first, like let it get long and then do that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely an acceptable strategy, man. I do something similar. I kind of free form it around the front part of my face, but 2 here, 4 here. Like it's literally like, this is 2, this is 4, this is like a 6 length, generally speaking. The thing is though, when it gets to be like, if you want it to grow out and you do that kind of trimming with the guard, in my humble opinion, it hasn't worked for me. I like, if I'm gonna grow it longer, I let it grow. I trim here with the guard where I want to keep it short, and then just let it go down in this area, and use scissors to kind of to keep it trimmed. I think scissors, there's a lot less chance that you're going to make a grade A mistake with scissors than you are with a guard and clippers. Especially if you're new to sculpting your beard. You're moving a lot slower, you're a lot more deliberate, and you can take it from different angles and watch your face as you do that, because the way that you look when you're looking straight on and you're trimming is different than how it's going to look if you're looking at it from the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're using scissors to do that, you're taking the time to start to know your beard. So I would recommend scissors initially, unless you're going to keep it at a length that I have it now. If you're doing it this kind of length, guard away. But if you're going to grow it out, scissors.
Yeah. And just one thing I want to check for sure, because I saw a little bit of some different opinions on this. When you are using the guard, are you always going to be going like this rather than like that?
Okay, good point. Earlier you asked me on the sides, right? Now we're talking here. If you're going to use the guard, I would not go this direction with the guard, right? Definitely,
because it's going to be a lot shorter if you do it that way.
And hair doesn't like to be cut against the grain too often. In this area, you can get away with it, because you're going super short anyway, right? And you want to get it nice and clean. And by going against the grain of the hair, it pulls it up. You're not pulling it out of your hair or out of your skin, and you're getting it kind of almost you're getting it out, right? If you go down, you're just like combing it down, and you're not really doing much with it. But you're pushing it out. It's getting it nice and short. It's getting it nice and uniform. If you're going to be going with the grain and you're doing it longer, again, I don't know, man. I can't do the guard and the clippers. I'll freehand the clippers, no guard, to like trim the hedge, right? But I'm not going to dig in here too often with the garden trimmers, unless I'm keeping it again at this length.
So your recommendation is scissors, but if you are going to use the guard down here, you got to go this way.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. All right. Well, we should probably wrap this up. I don't know if anybody's going to watch. Anybody?
That's a lot of beard talk, man.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to make it through all the way to the end of the 40 minutes of beard talk, but it's very interesting to me.
We talked about beard for 40 minutes.
I think so. I mean, I certainly learned a lot. This stuff is interesting to me, and one of the things, growing up as an only child and being raised by my mother, I had to figure all this stuff out on my own.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, me too, actually.
Basically, anything beard related, it doesn't seem super tricky, but there are some things to it. And back in the 90s, you couldn't just YouTube to figure out how to do stuff. And so I felt like even just shaving, like when I didn't have a beard, just regular shaving, took me a decade easily to kind of feel like I was starting to, I probably should have just asked people. But for the most part, it was just trial and error for like 10 years.
Yeah. It took me a long time to kind of settle in where I'm at too. And thank God for YouTube, because I did a lot of YouTubing and a lot of internet research on how to care for my skin and care for my beard. I'm going to throw this out there again. These little old school safety razors, really affordable. You can get a razor for, $16. You can get the boar hair brush for like, I think probably $8 or something, and the little dish for like $3. One of the best ways to take care of your skin and sculpt, and learning with one of these things, there's a little bit of an art to it. You don't push down like you do with the cartridge. You let the weight of the safety razor grace your skin. But man, game changer. Absolute game changer. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was pretty much just using the guard on like a low setting, and I was going up, like totally the way that you're not supposed to, and I was just making it all one length. And it looked okay, but it didn't look that great. And then I would see these dudes with like cool beards, and I'd be like, what is it that they're doing? Like, I want one of those. And so that probably, about a year or two ago was when, okay, I live in Portland now. It's like the cool beard capital of the world. Like, I want to have like a Portland cool dude beard. Like
you've got a full beard for it too, which is that's a start, man. You have the genetics for a good beard.
I'm just gonna embrace the Portland stereotype and just go dive in.
There you go, beard first, man.
All right, Kris. Well, thanks for joining us today on Tell Me About It. Thanks for all the beard tips. I will take them to heart. We'll have to check in again soon and see how I'm doing, and if I've kind of gotten to where I want to be with the new beard look.
Let's do it, man. I'd love to see how your beard looks in a couple of months.
Yes, we'll do.
All right, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Good to see you, Brooker. Thanks for having me on.